You are here, not by coincidence, nor by chance, nor by a random arrangement of fate. You are not an anonymous individual in the bustling stream of life, unknown or uncared for by anyone. On the contrary, your existence is part of a grand plan that God ordained from the very beginning. He saw you before you took your first breath, called you by name even before you realized your own worth. You are not a superfluous piece in the vast painting of the world, but an important part, an indispensable stroke in the Creator's masterpiece. Your life is not just a series of meaningless days passing by. It carries within it a noble mission. The joys and sorrows, the successes and failures all are pieces in the journey that God has laid out for you to grow, for you to realize the true meaning of your presence in this world, even when you feel lonely, lost, or doubtful of yourself. Remember that you are not forgotten. God has placed you in the right place, at the right time, with the right opportunities and challenges for you to be trained, to develop, and to fulfill the mission He has given you. You were chosen not by a stroke of luck, but because He saw the potential, the value, and the abilities you carry within you. God never creates anyone without a reason, and your presence in this world is the clearest proof that you have an important role. Trust in His plan, because your life is not merely a journey to find meaning, but a testament to the love and perfect arrangement of the One who created you. Before you could even perceive yourself, before you could question the meaning of existence, God saw you. He not only knew you, but He also chose you, placing you in a sacred plan that only you can complete. You are not a tiny grain of sand, swept away by the aimless current of life. Nor are you an anonymous individual among the billions of people on this earth. You are one of the few whom God has called, chosen not just to exist, but to fulfill a mission that was ordained before you were born. This choice is not accidental, not a matter of luck, but a destiny that was set from the dawn of creation. Before you uttered your first cry, before you took your first faltering steps, God placed a great responsibility on your shoulders, a special role that no one else can replace. Among the countless paths and innumerable turns, He has reserved a unique road for you, a path that leads you to the purpose He has established. You are not a coincidence, but an important part of the magnificent picture that God has painted. Perhaps you do not yet understand why you were chosen. Perhaps you have doubted your own worth, thinking you are just an ordinary person with nothing special. But God does not see you the way the world sees you. He looks into your heart, at the potential you have yet to realize, and the great things you can do when you follow His plan. This choice is not a privilege for you to enjoy an easy life, but an invitation for you to embark on a journey full of challenges, yet also full of glory. Being chosen by God does not mean you will not face difficulties, but it means you will never have to face them alone. God will walk with you, lift you up, and give you the strength to overcome every trial and persevere on the path He has laid out. So, never think that you are small or meaningless. Never doubt that your existence is redundant. You are not here by chance, not living an aimless life. Every day you wake up, every breath you take, is part of the great plan that God has for you. Trust in that, embrace His call with all your heart, and walk with the faith that you were born with, a sacred mission, a meaning that surpasses anything you can imagine. You were chosen not just to enjoy a privilege, but also to bear a responsibility in God's great plan. No one can replace you, because you are not a number among the countless, but a unique individual with a special role. He created you with distinct qualities, abilities, and experiences, so that you could fulfill a mission that no one else can. You are not here to follow the well-trodden path of others, but to walk the road that God has opened, reserved exclusively for you. This is a great opportunity, a chance for you to become the best version of yourself, to live a meaningful life, and to contribute to the perfect picture that God is painting. But at the same time, it is also a responsibility that you must take with all seriousness. God did not place this mission in your hands just for you to sit still and wait, but for you to act, to walk in faith and perseverance. There will be challenges and turns in the road that make you doubt, but remember that God has given you enough strength and courage to overcome them all. Cherish this calling, for not everyone has such an opportunity. Receive it not just with joy, but also with determination, because every step you take, every action you perform, contributes to a plan far greater than yourself. This is not just an invitation, but a mission, a path that only you can complete. And if you are willing to accept it, you will find that your life is not merely an existence, but a journey full of meaning and glory. God's selection of you is not because you are skilled, talented, or perfect, but it is a grace that comes from His boundless love and mercy. God does not choose you based on what humans value, such as talent, strength, or perfection. He does not need a perfect person. He only needs a willing heart and an unshakable faith. You may not be special in the eyes of the world, but in God's great plan, you hold an immensely precious value. There may be times when you feel you are not strong enough, not skilled enough, or not perfect enough to be worthy of this selection. But do not let those thoughts cause you to waver, because God does not look at the factors that humans often value. For Him, this selection is not based on personal achievements or perfection. God sees in you a sincere heart, a firm faith, and a spirit that yearns to seek Him. God does not need you to be the best. He only needs you to dare to step out of your comfort zone and reach for the greatness He has ordained for you. Even if you feel weak, even if you feel incapable, He will be your strength, the source of motivation to help you overcome all challenges. When you stumble, He will lift you up. When you doubt, He will be the light to guide your way. This selection is not a reward for the perfect, but an invitation to those who are willing to open their hearts, trust, and walk in His love. Remember that you were chosen not because you were already good or perfect, but because God will make you sufficient. He knows you, He understands you, and He loves you unconditionally. Therefore, even if you feel inadequate, God always sees you as adequate to carry out His mission. In God's eyes, you do not need to be perfect first. He will perfect you through the trials, through the journey filled with love and His guidance, from before you uttered your first cry. From when you were not yet fully formed in your mother's womb, you were chosen. You did not appear in this world by chance, but as part of a grand plan, a mission that transcends yourself. Like the prophets in the Bible, who were called by God's name while still in their mother's wombs, you too were destined for a unique path, a journey that only you can undertake. Perhaps you haven't realized it yet, or sometimes you doubt whether life truly has meaning. The ups and downs, the joys and pains, the shattered dreams and surprising successes, none of these are coincidences. They are the bricks that have built the person you are today. Small, yet incredibly important signs, silently guiding you towards your destiny. Every challenge you face, every path you choose, every turn that seemed like a mistake, none of it was meaningless. Everything was arranged to bring you to this moment, the moment you realized that you were born not just to exist, but to accomplish something greater than yourself. There will be times when you feel lost, feel that what you are doing has no value, or feel small in this vast world. But remember, the greatest people once felt the same way. Before Moses led the people of Israel out of Egypt, he was a lonely shepherd in the desert. Before David became the great king of Israel, he was just a shepherd boy. No one sees their mission clearly from the beginning, but every step they took, every decision they made, every trial they overcame, all of it led them to the path they were born to walk. So it is with you. You are not a solitary individual in the infinite flow of the universe. You are an irreplaceable piece in the vast tapestry of creation. You have talents, qualities, and dreams that no one else possesses because you were born to play a unique role, a role that only you can fulfill. Perhaps right now, you do not see the path ahead clearly, But trust that with each passing day, every action you take, every choice you make is bringing you closer to your mission. Pause for a moment and reflect. What makes you feel truly alive? What makes your heart beat faster, makes you lose track of time when you are doing it? That is the sign of the path you were destined for. No one else can walk that path for you. No one else can fulfill your mission. And this world needs you. It needs you to stand up. It needs you to shine. It needs you to complete the mission you were chosen for before you were born. So do not doubt. Do not be afraid. Step forward, because destiny has been waiting for you for a very long time. No one can take away the selection you have received. Not people, not circumstances, and not your own failures or fears. When God has placed His mark on you, no force can erase it. No one can dim the light that He has lit within you. No one can replace the role that you are destined to fulfill. You are not an ordinary person drifting in the aimless stream of life, but a chosen one, an important part of His great plan. Perhaps you have stumbled, gotten lost, or thought you were unworthy, or not strong enough to carry such a great mission. But do not let past mistakes or negative words from others make you forget your true identity. You are not your failures. You are not the limitations that others impose on you. If God has called you by name, then no human rejection can change that. Even if you feel you are not good enough, not talented enough, or not strong enough, God sees something different in you. He sees potential, sees the fire within you, sees the person you were born to become. You can choose to deny it, to refuse, to walk the path He has prepared for you. But that does not change the fact that you have been chosen. Just as the sun continues to shine even if someone closes their eyes, your mission still exists, whether you acknowledge it or not. No one can change this truth. Only you can decide whether you will embrace it or abandon it. But remember, giving up does not mean you will find peace. For when you try to escape what you were born to do, your soul will always feel incomplete. Always feel as if there is a void that cannot be filled. You can search for other paths. You can pursue goals that you think will bring happiness. But until you accept your mission, you will never feel whole. Because what was placed within you from the beginning cannot be replaced by anything else. So, do not let fear stop you. Do not let past wounds make you doubt yourself. Do not let anyone convince you that you are not good enough, not strong enough, or not important enough. God does not call the perfect. He perfects those He calls. If He has chosen you, He will also give you everything you need to complete your mission. All you need to do is trust, stand up, and walk forward with the firm, unwavering belief that you have been chosen. Nothing can change that. You do not belong to this world. When God places His mark on you, He not only gives you a mission, but also places within you a different spirit, a fire that cannot be extinguished by the fleeting values of the world. Those who belong to God cannot live like everyone else, because they carry something more sacred, a light that cannot be mixed with darkness. Perhaps you have felt that you cannot fully fit in with those around you. When others chase after meaningless pleasures, you feel empty. When others seek power, fame, and material possessions, you find that those things cannot fill the void in your soul. You have different thoughts, a way of looking at life that is not like the majority. You yearn for something deeper, a greater meaning, a purpose not limited to this finite world. And at times, it is this very difference that makes you feel lonely. But do you know that feeling of being out of place is not a punishment, but a sign? It proves that you have been chosen, that your soul does not belong to this world. God did not call you to blend in with the flow of the world, but to stand up and become a beacon of light in the darkness. You were not created to live an ordinary life, but to fulfill a mission greater than yourself. The world may not understand you. It may mock you, reject you, even turn its back on you. But do not let that make you doubt your worth. Jesus Christ was also rejected by the world. The prophets were also scorned, but that did not change the fact that they were chosen and had a sacred purpose to fulfill. So it is with you. The challenges you face, the misunderstandings and loneliness you endure all are part of the journey God has prepared for you. There may be times when you want to give up this difference, to blend in with the world to feel less lonely. But remember that you cannot run away from what you were born to become. No matter how you try to hide it, the light within you will always shine brightly. You can deny this selection, but it does not change the fact that you have been chosen. No one can erase the mark God has placed upon you, and no one can replace your role in His plan. So be strong. Stand firm, even when you feel lost. Know that you are not alone, because all who are chosen walk this path. Believe that God not only calls you, but also equips you with everything you need to fulfill your mission. You do not belong to the world, for you were made to belong to an eternal kingdom, where your value is not measured by the frivolous standards of humans, but by the love and sacred plan of the one who chose you before you were even born. When you walk in God's calling, you will realize an unavoidable truth. This world will not accept you. It will not applaud the path you are on, nor will it welcome the values you pursue. Those who do not understand God will mock you, doubt you, and even oppose you. They will not understand why you do not chase after the things they deem important: fame, money, and fleeting pleasures. They will see you as a stranger in the stream of life, someone going against the current of society, and that can hurt you. Perhaps you once longed to be understood, accepted, and loved. But when you choose God's path, you will realize that not everyone can walk with you. People who were once close may suddenly become distant. Relationships that were once intimate may gradually fade. You may be doubted, isolated, and criticized by others for your different way of life. Some will say you are lost, that you are isolating yourself, that you should give up and return to the path everyone else is on. And there will be times when you feel lonely. But remember that Jesus Christ Himself was rejected by the world. He who brought love and truth was ridiculed, despised, and mocked by the very people He came to save. When He preached about the kingdom of heaven, they called Him a deceiver. When He performed miracles of healing, they said He used the power of demons. When He sacrificed Himself on the cross, many stood below and jeered, challenging Him to come down to prove He was the Messiah. If Jesus Christ Himself, the perfect one, was rejected by the world, then those who follow Him will not escape it either. The world does not accept you, not because you are wrong, but because you belong to a different kingdom. When you walk in the light, you make those who are in darkness uncomfortable. When you pursue righteousness, you become a contrast to those living in sin. They may not realize it, but deep down, they feel challenged by your difference. And instead of changing themselves, they will try to extinguish the light within you. They will use words to belittle you, use looks to make you doubt yourself, and use social pressure to force you to abandon your path. But do not let that sway you. Do not let the world's rejection make you doubt your worth. You were not born to please people, but to please the one who created you. God did not call you to fit in, but to be different. He did not choose you to follow the beaten path, but to walk the narrow road, the path full of challenges, but also the path that leads to eternal life. Perhaps you will ask yourself, if this path is truly God's will, why is it so difficult? Why don't the people around me understand me? Why do I have to suffer just for wanting to live according to the truth? But remember, the world's rejection is not a sign of failure, but proof of your selection. If you belonged to the world would love you as its own. But because you do not belong to it, it will oppose you. It's not because you are wrong, but because you were chosen to live for something greater. What you give up today for God will never be a loss, but an investment for an eternal reward. Even though the world may shun you, even though you may feel lonely, know that you are not walking alone. There were those who went before you, who were also rejected, but they persevered and completed their mission. They stood firm in their faith, despite being ridiculed, persecuted, and even killed. And today, they are enjoying glory in the presence of God. So it is with you. If you hold fast to your faith, if you do not let the world define your worth, if you remain faithful to the mission God has entrusted to you, your reward will surpass anything this world can offer. Perhaps today you are rejected, but one day you will be welcomed into God's eternal kingdom. Perhaps today you are looked down upon, but in His eyes, you are a precious gem, an heir to a kingdom that will never be destroyed. So be strong, stand firm even when the world does not accept you. Remember that no one can take away the selection that God has placed upon you. You do not need human recognition, because you have been sealed by the Almighty. Live with faith, walk with courage, because this world is only temporary, but the glory in God is eternal. And one day, when you have finished your race, when you stand before the one who called you from the beginning of time, you will hear the sweetest words, in a world full of temptations and pressures, where everyone is trying to seek acceptance from society. You must be steadfast in your faith. Do not let yourself be carried away by what the world expects. Do not let the frivolous standards of people determine your worth. The world may pressure you to change, may want you to live in a way it deems right, may make you believe that to be loved and recognized, you must blend in with the crowd and lose your principles and beliefs. But remember, you were not born to please people, but to please the one who created you. You do not need to change yourself just to be accepted. You do not need to trade your faith just to fit society's standards. If the world says you need to compromise, that you need to give up a part of yourself to be loved, then do not believe it. God did not call you to become like the world, but to be different, to reflect His light in this darkness. You do not need the world's recognition to know your worth, because your value does not come from the praise or consensus of people, but from God Himself. Remember, the one who created you is also the one who chose you, and He never makes a mistake. He knows you better than anyone. He sees the potential within you. He knows what you were born to do, and He has placed a special mission in your life. When you feel isolated, when you feel that no one understands or accepts you, remember that God understood you before you were born. He called you by name from your mother's womb, and He has placed His seal upon you. The world's recognition cannot add to or take away from the value He has given you. Stand firm in your faith. Do not let external pressures cause you to lose yourself. Do not let criticism make you doubt the path God has set before you. This path may not be easy. There may be times you feel lonely, but believe that you are not walking alone. God is always with you, always supporting you, always giving you the strength to continue. One day, when you stand before Him, you will not have to answer to the world, but only to the one who created you. Then, what will matter is not how many people you pleased, but whether you lived true to your faith. Do not let the world make you waver. Live with courage. Hold fast to your faith, because that not only defines who you are, but also determines where you will belong forever. Those who are chosen will not escape trials. No one can walk in God's calling without experiencing hardship. If you have been chosen for a great mission, prepare yourself to face difficulties, because trials are not a sign of abandonment, but an essential part of the journey you must go through. God does not choose weak people only to leave them weak. He chooses them and trains them through trials so that they become strong, worthy of the mission He has set for them. Look at the figures in the Bible, those who were chosen by God and used to accomplish great things. None of them had an easy path. Moses, called to lead the people of Israel out of slavery, was exiled to the desert for 40 years before becoming a great leader. Joseph, who dreamed that one day he would rule, was sold into slavery by his own brothers, falsely accused, and thrown into prison before being elevated to the position of vizier of Egypt. David, anointed as king while still a boy, had to fight lions, bears, and finally Goliath. Then spent years being pursued by King Saul before officially taking the throne. The trials they faced were not to destroy them, but to train them. Without the years in the desert, Moses would not have become a leader with enough patience and faith to to guide an entire nation. Without being sold into slavery and enduring days in prison, Joseph would not have had the wisdom and humility to become a skilled leader. If David had not fought Goliath and faced dangers, he would not have had enough courage and faith to rule a kingdom. So it is with you. If God has chosen you, He will also let you go through trials. You may face difficulties that seem insurmountable: failure, betrayal, loneliness, even suffering you never wished for. But remember, a trial is not a sign of being abandoned, but a means for you to grow. God does not put you through trials to make you fall, but to make you stronger, more steadfast, and more ready for the great things He has prepared for you. When facing adversity, you can choose to resent it, or choose to learn from it. You can let the trials break you, or you can use them to rise up stronger. The chosen ones are not those who have never stumbled, but those who, no matter how many times they fall, persistently get up and continue to walk. So, if you are facing difficulties in life, do not despair. Do not think that God has abandoned you. On the contrary, know that you are being trained, being prepared for something greater. Have faith and keep walking, because if God has brought you into a trial, He will also give you the strength to overcome it. And one day, when you look back, you will see that the trials you once feared were actually precious stones that helped you become stronger, wiser, and more worthy of the mission God has placed on your life. On the journey that God has destined for you, there will be times when you must face trials that come not only from the outside, but also from within your own soul. There will be moments when you doubt yourself, wondering if you are truly chosen, if the path you are on is the right one. The slander, the continuous obstacles, the seemingly unavoidable failures can make you tired and cause you to question whether you are strong enough, whether you are on the wrong path. Then there will be times when you feel as though God is silent. You pray but receive no answer. You search for a sign, but nothing seems to change. You plead for His intervention, but everything continues in a way you do not desire. That silence can leave you bewildered, can make you feel as if you are being abandoned, as if the promises you once believed in are slowly fading. But remember that it is in those very moments that your faith is being tested. God is not silent because He doesn't hear you, but because He wants you to grow. He has not left you. He is watching to see if you truly trust in Him. Like a teacher who remains silent during an exam to help the student, so too is God. When you face a trial, He has not departed. He is using that very silence to forge your faith. It is easy to believe when everything is going smoothly, but true faith is not about believing when you can see the way. It is about persevering and walking forward even when you cannot see what lies ahead. The great figures in the Bible all went through periods where they felt lost. Joseph spent years in prison before his dream became a reality. Moses had to wander in the desert for 40 years. Even Jesus, before beginning His ministry, endured 40 days of testing in the wilderness. But what did they all have in common? They did not give up. They did not let God's silence shake them. They continued to walk, to believe, and to remain faithful to the mission He had entrusted to them. And in the end, they received what God had promised them. So it is with you. If today you are feeling weary, if you feel your faith is wavering, remember that a trial is not a sign of abandonment, but a part of the journey of growth. Do not let God's silence make you doubt. He is still working, even when you cannot see it. He is still guiding you, even when you feel lost. So persevere. Hold fast to your faith, because when you overcome the trial, you will see that God never left you. He was simply preparing you for something better that you could not see at that moment. Have faith. Keep moving forward, because one day you will realize that every trial you went through had a meaning, and the faith you hold on to today will become the solid foundation for the great things God wants to do in your life. There are times in life when you feel like you are walking alone in this vast world. You may be facing challenges that seem to have no way out, pain that no one understands, and pressure's so heavy that you don't know if you can continue. You pray, but there seems to be no answer. You seek God, but at times, you cannot feel His presence. You may have asked yourself, where is God? Is He really listening to me? Is He walking with me? But remember that even if you do not see Him, He is still acting. Even if you do not feel His presence, He is still working in your life. Sometimes, God does not answer immediately in the way you expect. Not because He does not care, but because He is preparing something greater and better for you. Just like a teacher who is silent during an exam, God may seem silent in your most difficult moments, not because He has abandoned you, but because He is training you, helping you to grow, and leading you to a higher level of faith. God is not just beside you. He goes before you. He not only accompanies you, but also clears the path for you. There are obstacles you have not yet seen, but He already knows about them. There are dangers you do not realize, but He has long protected you from them. When one door closes, you may feel desperate, but in reality, God has blocked you in order to open another door, one that is better, more solid, and more suited to His plan for you. You may not understand why you have to face these challenges, but trust that nothing happens outside of His control. Look back on your life. There were times you thought you would fall, but somehow you kept walking. There were times you thought you could not overcome, but in the end, you did. That was not luck. It was God's arrangement. He was always there, silently supporting you, giving you strength, and guiding you even when you didn't realize it. If God has brought you through the difficult days of the past, will He not also continue to lead you on the path ahead? But to see that, you must trust. Faith is not believing when things are going smoothly, but believing even when you cannot see the road ahead. God does not require you to understand everything. He does not need you to have all the answers. He just needs you to surrender, to trust Him even in the most difficult of times. When the people of Israel stood before the Red Sea, they saw no way out, but God opened a path right through the ocean. When Daniel was thrown into the lion's den, he did not know what would happen, but God shut the lions' mouths. When Daniel's 3 friends were thrown into the fiery furnace, they did not know how God would rescue them, but in the end, He was there with them, protecting them from the flames. God will do the same for you. Whatever you are facing today, know that He has gone before you. He has arranged everything according to His perfect timing. You may not understand the reason right now, but one day, when you look back, you will realize that every moment, every trial, and every tear had a purpose. So do not be afraid. Do not let doubts hold you back. Do not let temporary difficulties make you think you are alone. You are not alone. God is holding your hand, guiding you, and clearing the way for you, even when you cannot see it. Be steadfast. Keep walking, because when you place your trust in Him, you will never be lost. One day, when you stand on the heights that God has prepared for you, you will realize that every step you took, every trial you overcame, was all part of the perfect plan He had set for you from the very beginning. You cannot wait. You cannot wait. You cannot delay God's call with the hope that one day, when things are more favorable, you will be ready. Because the right time you are waiting for may never come. God's call is not an invitation with a flexible deadline, but an opportunity that can be lost if you do not respond. He is calling you right now, in this very moment, with what you have and with what you think you are not ready for. Perhaps you feel you are not strong enough. Perhaps you think you do not have enough knowledge, enough experience, or enough courage to step forward. But remember, God does not choose the perfect. He perfects those He chooses. Moses once told God he was not a good speaker, but God used him to free the people of Israel. Gideon felt small and insignificant, but God turned him into a great warrior. David was just a shepherd boy, but God anointed him as king. None of them waited until they were ready to step into their calling or to walk in faith. And God equipped them on their journey. So it is with you. If you keep waiting for an ideal moment, you will never truly begin. If you keep seeking perfection before you take a step, you will remain stuck in place forever. Do not let fear hold you back. Do not let the words of others make you doubt. And most importantly, do not let hesitation cause you to miss the opportunity to be used in God's great plan. God is calling you right now. He is not waiting for you to become someone else, not waiting for you to be perfect, not waiting for you to have all the qualifications. He calls you in your current circumstances, with all that you have and all that you lack. If you do not respond, there is no guarantee that the door will always be open. Looking back at the Bible, how many people missed God's call simply because they hesitated, because they were afraid, because they thought they could postpone it to another day? Do not let yourself be one of them. So step forward, trust, respond to God's call right now, today. Let Him lead you, let Him use you in ways you have never imagined. Because when you are willing to commit, when you abandon procrastination and place your complete trust in Him, you will see that God's plan for you is always greater than anything you could ever think of on your own. Do not wait any longer, because God's time is now. Do not hesitate, do not procrastinate, do not let fear stop you from stepping into the calling that God has placed on your life. When He calls you, He does not expect perfection from you. He only needs your obedience. He has prepared everything you need for this journey. Even though you may feel unready, even though you may think you are lacking, trust that God knew all of that from the very beginning, yet He still chose you. Not because you are perfect, but because He will perfect you as you walk in His calling. Perhaps you are waiting for a clearer sign, a firm confirmation that you are ready. But the truth is, no one ever feels completely ready to step into God's plan. Moses hesitated because he was not eloquent. Gideon doubted because he felt insignificant. Jonah ran away because he was afraid of his mission. But what made the difference was not their preparation, but their obedience. When they dared to step forward, God equipped, guided, and acted powerfully through them. You may not see the path ahead clearly. You may not understand every step you need to take. But remember, faith is not about seeing everything. It is about daring to take a step even when you cannot see the destination. When the people of Israel faced the Red Sea, they saw no path at all. But when they obeyed and moved forward, the sea parted before them. When Peter stepped out of the boat to walk on water, he did not know what would happen. But as he kept his eyes on the Lord, he did the impossible. God does not demand that you have all the answers. He only needs you to trust and to take a step. Ask yourself, if you do not start now, then when? If you keep waiting for the perfect moment, you may never start at all. If you keep procrastinating, you might miss the chance to be used in God's plan. Remember that God's calling is not an optional invitation, but a mission with a timeline. The door He opens for you today may not be there tomorrow. You do not need to have everything in hand to begin. Walk with what you have, and God will provide the rest. Do not let fear hold you back. Do not let doubt make you retreat. And most importantly, do not let the words of the world sway you. God does not call you only to abandon you. He does not place a mission upon you without giving you the strength to complete it. So stand up today. Step out of your comfort zone. Act now. Because when you step forward, you will see that God was already there, ready to guide you, protect you, and do great things through you. If you wait, you may miss out. But if you walk, you will find that God not only accompanies you, He goes before you, opening the way and performing miracles you never dared to imagine. It is time for you to let go of the past mistakes, the failures, the pain you have experienced. Do not let them hold you back. Do not let them bind you in fear and regret. God did not call you to live forever in the shadow of what is gone. He does not see you through the lens of your past mistakes, but through the potential of your future. If He has forgiven you, then why do you still carry that burden? If He has wiped away your sins, then why do you continue to torment yourself? Perhaps you have failed. Perhaps you have done something you regret. Perhaps you think you are unworthy to step into God's calling. But remember that in the Bible, God does not choose perfect people. He chooses those who are willing to be transformed. Moses had killed a man before becoming the leader of the people of Israel. Peter denied the Lord 3 times, but later became a pillar of the church. Paul once persecuted believers, but God changed him and turned him into one of the greatest missionaries in history. If God could use them, He can also use you. But that can only happen when you learn to let go. Do not let the past define you. Do not let what happened yesterday prevent you from stepping into the calling of today. The mercy of God is new every morning. Every day He gives you a new opportunity to walk in His light, to live according to the plan He has prepared for you. The past no longer has power over you unless you continue to cling to it, so forgive yourself. Do not condemn yourself for things that God has already forgiven. Let your heart be freed from old burdens so that you can move forward with freedom and faith. You cannot change the past, but you can decide your present and your future. And your future does not lie in the mistakes that are gone, but in the hands of God who has called you, forgiven you, and prepared a new path for you. Let go of the past and walk in the calling of the Lord. He does not see your old self. He sees the person you can become. And if He has chosen you, nothing in the past can change His eternal plan for you. You cannot continue to live as you did before and expect something new to happen. If you want to step into God's plan, you must be willing to change. His calling is not an invitation for you to remain in your comfort zone, but a challenge for you to break through, to leave old things behind, and to embrace the better things He has prepared for you. God cannot pour new wine into old wineskins. Matthew 9:17. You cannot hold tightly to the past, to old habits, to old ways of thinking, and expect Him to perform great things in your life. To be able to walk in the calling, you must be willing to let go of what no longer suits you. Perhaps it is negative thoughts, unhealthy relationships, habits that hold you back, or even the fear and doubt that have clung to you for too long. You must dare to step out of your old lifestyle, to open your heart to what God wants to give you. Change is not easy. It requires you to dare to be different, to dare to walk in faith. The people around you may not understand you. They may wonder why you are no longer the same, why you do not follow the path they expect. But remember, those who want to live for God must be willing to be different from the world. Abraham had to leave his homeland to go to a strange land he had never known. Moses had to give up life in the Egyptian palace to become a leader of his people. The disciples had to leave everything to follow Jesus. If they had not been willing to change, they would not have seen the miracles and the glory that God had for them. So it is with you. If you want to experience transformation in your life, you must be willing to act. Do not just wait for something to happen without actually taking a step. Do not let fear hold you back. Do not let the comfort of familiar things cause you to miss the great plan that God has arranged for you. Dare to step out of your comfort zone. Dare to trust that when you change, God will walk with you and guide you. Change is not only necessary, but mandatory if you want to step into something better. Believe that when you are willing to let go of the old, God will give you something new that is better, greater, and more blessed than anything you have ever imagined. Step forward boldly, because the best things are always ahead. You never have to fight alone. Life can be full of trials, thorns, and battles that make you feel weak and tired. There will be times you must face opposition, criticism, and circumstances that are beyond your endurance. But remember, you are not walking alone. God not only calls you, but He also promises to always be with you, to always protect you from every trap and danger on the path you are on. When you step into His calling, the enemy will try to discourage you. It will set up obstacles, difficulties, and challenges to make you doubt yourself and the path you are on. It will whisper in your ear that you are not strong enough, not worthy enough, that you will fail. but do not believe those lies. God has said in His word that He will protect you, that He will never leave you nor forsake you. No power can harm you when you place your complete trust in Him. Look back at the stories in the Bible. When David faced Goliath, he did not fight in his own strength. He fought with the belief that God would grant him victory. When Daniel was thrown into the lion's den, he was not afraid because he knew that God was his protector. And indeed, He shut the lions' mouths. When Daniel's 3 friends were thrown into the fiery furnace, they did not flinch, and God was with them in the midst of the flames, keeping them from harm. These men were not exceptionally strong by worldly standards, but they had something the enemy could not touch: the faith and protection of God. So it is with you. Whatever trial you are facing, remember that you do not have to bear it alone. God is your strong fortress. He is your safe refuge, the shield that protects you from the enemy's attacks. When you pass through the fire, the flames will not burn you. When you pass through the waters, the currents will not sweep you away. When you face difficulties, God will make a way. Nothing happens in your life without His permission, and if He allows you to go through a trial, it is because He knows that you will not go through it alone. He will go with you, so do not be afraid. Do not let life's difficulties make you doubt God's protection. Do not let the enemy's lies cause you to lose faith. Stand firm, because God will never leave you alone. He not only walks with you, but He also goes before you, preparing the way and protecting you from dangers you have not even seen yet. Trust in the Lord, entrust everything into His hands, because when you are in Him, nothing can harm you. No enemy can defeat you, and no circumstance can destroy you. God has promised, and His promise never changes. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Walk in confidence, because the one who has called you is also the one who will protect and accompany you every step of the way. When you feel weak, when you think you cannot go on, remember that your strength does not come from yourself, but from God. He does not expect you to fight through challenges on your own. He does not require you to be strong enough before you take a step. On the contrary, it is in your weakness that He will display His power. As His word says, "My power is made perfect in weakness." When you no longer have the strength to stand, He will support you. When you fall, He will lift you up. When you feel you are not enough, He will make up for all that you lack. There will be times you feel lost, not knowing where to go or what to do. The road ahead may be dark, full of uncertain turns, but believe that God will not let you walk alone in the darkness. He is a lamp for your feet, a light for your path. When you do not know which way to go, He will guide you. When you stand between difficult choices, He will place wisdom in your heart. Even if you cannot see the road ahead, remember that He has gone before you, preparing everything for you. Then there will be times you feel hopeless. Life can become too heavy, dreams can be shattered, and plans may not go in the direction you expected. Criticism, failures, and hardships can exhaust you to the point of wanting to give up. But do not let the darkness of your circumstances obscure the light of God. He is not only the one who lifts you up, but also the one who encourages you, giving you hope even in the darkest of times. When Elijah was broken and wanted to give up, God did not rebuke him. He gave him rest, nourished him, and encouraged him to continue his journey. When Peter was disappointed in himself for denying the Lord, He did not abandon him, but gave him a new opportunity to serve. God will never let you sink into despair. He is always ready to pull you out of it and place hope back in your heart. So, when you feel weak, remember that God is your source of strength. When you feel lost, trust that He will guide you. When you lose hope, remember that He will encourage you. He will never let you fight alone, never let you walk without His help. Cast your burdens upon the Lord, for He is the one who will sustain you, give you strength, and guide you to where you belong. When God has ordained something, no force can stop it. Not a person, not a circumstance, not an enemy can derail the plan He has established. The storms of life may rise, Trials may come, but they are all under his control. No one can thwart the will of the Almighty. He speaks a word, and it will be. He opens a door, and no one can shut it. As it is written in the Bible, I have purposed it. Who can annul it? Perhaps you are facing obstacles that make you doubt God's plan. Perhaps you are wondering if He is truly at work when everything around you seems to contradict the promise He has given. But look back at history and see that God never fails. When He has chosen someone, when He has placed a mission in their heart, He will always find a way to complete that work, despite the difficulties, despite the opposition, despite the trials that seem insurmountable. Remember the story of the people of Israel. When they were slaves in Egypt, Pharaoh did everything to keep them, to exploit them, to prevent them from receiving what God had promised. But God's plan could not be thwarted. He sent 10 plagues upon Egypt. He parted the Red Sea to make a way, and He led His people to the promised land. Pharaoh may have been the king of Egypt, but God is the ruler of all creation. Nothing can stand against His will. Look at the life of Joseph. When he was young, God placed a dream in his heart that one day he would be raised to a high position. But instead of going straight to glory, Joseph went through trials that could not have been worse. Sold into slavery by his own brothers, falsely accused and imprisoned, forgotten in a dungeon. But no adversity could stop God's plan for him. Even in the darkest moments, He was still at work. And just as He had ordained, Joseph was raised to be the vizier of Egypt, becoming the savior of an entire nation. Even look at the story of Jesus Himself. When He was crucified on the cross, the enemy thought they had won. Those who opposed Him thought they had stopped His mission, but they did not know that His death was part of God's great plan to redeem humanity. 3 days later, He rose again, breaking the chains of death, proving that nothing, not betrayal, not persecution, not even death itself, can stop the plan of God. So it is with you. If God has called you, if He has placed a mission in your heart, be certain that His plan for you will come to pass. There may be trials. There will be times you feel lost. There will be moments you are betrayed, opposed, and even misunderstood. But remember that no one can stop what God has ordained. If you are faithful, if you do not give up, you will see His glory manifested in your life in ways you never imagined. So do not let circumstances discourage you. Do not let delays make you doubt. Do not let the lies of the world cause you to lose hope. Trust in the Lord. Be firm in your faith. He has promised, I will complete the work I have begun in you. If He has started something in your life, He will surely finish it. No force can stop God. No circumstance can change His plan. He is the one who holds everything in His hands. He is the one who makes a way in the wilderness, who makes water flow from the rock, who turns the impossible into the possible. If He has chosen you, nothing, whether it be people, circumstances, or the enemy, can stop you from fulfilling the mission He has placed within you. Stand firm. Keep walking. For what He has promised, He will surely bring to pass. You cannot ignore this calling. This is not an optional decision, not a choice you can consider and then set aside, like an ordinary opportunity. This is God's sacred intention for you, the purpose He established for you even when you were in your mother's womb. You were not born by accident, not a product of blind fate or chance. You were chosen, called, and given a mission that only you can complete. If you ignore this, if you choose to live according to the ways of the world, you may achieve many things: fame, money, status, but deep inside, you will always feel empty, because you can have everything. But if you do not live according to God's plan, you will never truly find the meaning of your life. Nothing can replace the satisfaction you feel when you know you are on the right path that God has set for you. No success can compare to the peace you receive when living in His will. Look at the figures in the Bible: Moses, David, Joseph, Peter, Paul. If they had refused God's calling, the world would have lost great leaders, saviors of nations, and people who brought about historical change. But they did not turn away. They walked forward, even though the path ahead was not easy, even though there were times they were scared, doubted, and stumbled. But God was faithful. He not only called them but also equipped them, gave them strength, wisdom, and everything necessary to complete their mission. And through them, He did wonderful things. So it is with you. God does not only call special people, He calls all who are willing. And if He has placed the calling in your heart, it means He has chosen you. You cannot delay. You cannot make excuses. You cannot wait until you are ready. God is not waiting for you to be perfect, not waiting for you to have all the answers, not waiting for you to have all the qualifications. He only needs a heart of obedience. He needs you to be willing to say, "Here I am, Lord, use me." But if you do not step into God's plan, if you refuse, you will lose the opportunity to be used in His great program. God never forces anyone, but if you do not respond, He may choose someone else to do the work that you were originally called to do. You can live an ordinary, safe life in your own way, but you will never know the miracle that God could have done through you. You will never experience the glory that He wanted to reveal in your life. So do not wait, do not delay, do not let fear or doubt stop you. Do not let the lies of the world make you waver. God not only calls you, He will also equip you. He will give you strength, wisdom, protection, and everything you need to complete the responsibility He has placed upon you. Stand up and walk in faith. Do not worry about what you do not have, because God will provide it when you need it. Do not fear the road ahead, because He will guide your every step. Obey, step forward, and you will find that when you surrender your life to God, you will not only find the true meaning of your life, but also participate in a plan greater than anything you can imagine. If God is the one who leads you, then nothing can make you fail. Life may bring challenges. The path you walk may be fraught with difficulties. But remember that you do not fight alone. Every step you take, God is by your side. Every challenge you face, He has already prepared a solution. Every fear, every obstacle, every failure that seems insurmountable, God knew about it beforehand, and He already has a plan to turn it into victory. When you walk with God, what matters is not how strong you are, but that the Almighty is on your side. There will be times you feel exhausted. There will be times you wonder if you are going in the right direction. There will be times you stumble, and even times you feel like you have failed. But remember, failure is not the final destination when you walk with God. When you fall, He will lift you up. When you are lost, He will guide you. When you feel you are not strong enough, He will give you the strength to continue. In the Bible, God promised that, though a righteous person falls 7 times, they will rise again. What makes the difference is not that you never stumble, but that you always have God to lift you up every time you fall. Look at the stories in the Bible. Joseph was sold into slavery, falsely accused, and imprisoned for years. But in the end, God raised him to be the prime minister of Egypt. Moses had to face the powerful Pharaoh and a hard-hearted nation. But in the end, he completed his mission of leading the people of Israel out of Egypt. Paul was persecuted, beaten, and imprisoned, but nothing could stop him from preaching the gospel. These men faced enormous obstacles, but because they walked with God, they could not ultimately fail. So it is with you. If you are facing difficulties, do not let them make you doubt God's plan. If the road ahead is full of challenges, remember that God has not called you to walk it alone. He not only accompanies you, but also goes before you, opening the way for you, fighting for you. He will never leave you alone on the journey He has set before you. So be confident, keep walking, believe that no matter how many trials there are, no matter how much the world opposes you, in the end, you will be victorious. Because in all these things, we are more than conquerors through Him who loved us. Hold fast to your faith, because when you walk with God, failure is never the end. It is only a part of the journey that leads to the glorious victory He has prepared for you. Do not hesitate, do not be afraid. If God has placed a calling in your heart, if He has opened a door before you, then there is no reason for you to delay. Every second you hesitate is a second that His plan for you is postponed. Every moment you waver is a moment you miss the opportunity to be used in His great purpose. The world may tell you that you are not ready, that you are not good enough, that the road ahead is too difficult, but God does not call the perfect. He calls those who have a heart of obedience. He does not need you to be ready. He just needs you to take a step, be brave. Move forward with strong faith, because God is going before you. He has prepared the way. He has arranged everything, and He will give you the strength, the wisdom, and everything you need to complete your mission. As He told Joshua, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. If God has called you, He will also go with you. If He has placed something in your heart, He will also give you everything necessary to accomplish it. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any new videos from God's message today. You cannot wait until tomorrow. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. The opportunity that God opens today may not be there tomorrow. If you do not step into your calling right now, you may miss the purpose He has prepared for you. Do not let fear, doubt, or negative thoughts hold you back. Remember that God is waiting for you. He is waiting for you to commit. He is waiting for you to walk. He is waiting for you to say, "Here I am, Lord, use me." So act today. Cast aside all hesitation. Place your complete trust in Him and walk in obedience. When you bravely answer God's call, when you step out in faith, you will find that He has always been there, waiting to reveal His glory in your life. Do not wait any longer. This is the time for you to stand up and step into the plan that God ordained for you from the very beginning. Amen.